Welcome to the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks. We're Jim and Joe, lifelong friends, lifelong fans, bringing you fan-driven sports talk the way real fans do. No overpaid experts, no scripted analysis, just honest takes on the games, players, and the big stories shaping sports right now.
We want you to be a part of it too. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who have done that so far, we love your comments and everything. So keep bringing those comments, questions, takes. We'll read them all and we'll bring them into future shows. So hit like, subscribe, and join our conversation every week for free on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen. TikTok, Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Happy Martin Luther King Day and National Championship in Miami Day.
Happy MLK Day and happy CFP National Championship Day. Matter of fact, hold on. Close your eyes if you're affected by visual changes. I'm going to bring this down just a touch there. I want more of my shirt in the screen. Yes. Go Canes. I was walking in Publix, which is a grocery store here. You're probably familiar with it if you're from the Southeast. People kept asking me who I'm rooting for tonight. Strange, but hey, what are you going to do? I thought it was obvious.
See that and the hat, and that's how you went in there?
Yeah, of course. Only on game day. I try to be respectful of the people around me, Georgia Bulldog fans, and et cetera. But no. Anyways, I'm very excited. All kidding aside, I'm looking back, thinking how crazy it is that Miami is in the national championship game, barely making the playoffs, having to beat number 3, number 2, wow. So good for them. I don't think anyone on the Miami side of things, including and especially the team and the coaching staff, are happy they're here.
Oh, it's crazy and I can't believe some of the prices I read about the Hurricanes Hoosiers game tonight. What tickets are going for? $3,000 to $4,000. And it's a game is sold out, obviously. So if you're going to be trying to get down there and get a ticket or something like that, be prepared. You're going to have to pay a lot. And rumored, some of the premium seats at Hard Rock tonight may be going for $100,000.
It's unbelievable. I actually, you do too. We have friends down there. I was talking to one of my friends down there, and he was going to go just to go tailgate, hang around. Doesn't have a ticket to the game, but was just going to experience the environment and all that. $800, like to get into any lot anywhere near the stadium to tailgate, like an official. I mean, obviously you can go to any neighborhood or tailgate at home or anything like that, but to get into like an official lot to be part of the quote unquote experience was going to cost you like $1,000 just to do that. So, and listen, I'm not trying to whine because Miami gets picked on all the time. Like Miami's the only one tampering, the only one coughing up money, bringing up the bags for quarterbacks. It's ridiculous. Miami had nothing to do with the pricing of the tickets. Miami has nothing to do with all of that. But it's kind of funny. Like, yeah, of course, Miami needs the money for their next quarterback. That's why they're charging $4,000 for the tickets. Like, yeah, Miami sat down and did all that. Anyways, it is getting ridiculous. If you are a normal person, and no, I don't mean psychologically, I mean financially, you are not going to these games. Not unless you want to sell something valuable, like your children or something. You're not going. You've been priced out to any professional or now college, championship level type game. You are not going.
Yeah, and we're not condoning that. Selling your children, not condoning selling your children to make sure you can get into the game. It's just like the Super Bowl. No. It's a corporate takeover, and it shuts out the normal fan for sure. But thank goodness we have our televisions.
Well, of course, and it's great to be in the stadium for some of these games and all of that. But I don't have enough money. I mean, speaking of selling your kids, my kids are on eBay, like all the time, and it makes me very upset when I come home and they still haven't been bought yet. It's it's terrible. But Thank you. But no, listen, let's face it. It's a huge game. The prices of the tickets and everything, the food, who knows? It's going to cost you 10 grand to go to this game. I will be watching at home on my 75-inch television screen.
Woo!
As far as my thoughts on the game, you could probably just glance at me and tell I'm biased. As the game has gotten closer, and now today is game day, it's a weird. Normally, I get more and more, nervously excited. I get more and more nervous about it. I don't know why. I really don't. I'm getting less and less nervous. As I woke up this morning, I have more and more confidence, maybe false confidence, that Miami will handle business tonight. I, I just, I just do. I know Indiana's a great team. They're well coached. I know I've read the comments on social media how it's so wonderful. They're just a bunch of young men, 3 stars who love each other and they play together so great. They're such a great team, as if Miami's a bunch of, millionaires who don't care about anything but themselves and all that. Yeah, that's how they got this far, playing as individuals. I think Miami is going to run the ball well. I think if Miami hits 160 yards, they've been averaging 150. If they hit 160, they win this game. I'm not saying that's going to be easy. I think if they have 1 turnover or less and 6 penalties or less, they win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by double digits.
Wow, that's up there. And you've been doing so well with your Karnak the Great. Your predictions. We'll touch on that a little bit later about one of the NFL picks that you had this weekend. Um, the and you also have predicted so many of the college games right down almost to the point. You
Yep.
know,
Well, it's a feeling, obviously. I could be horribly wrong. We could be down 21-0 in 6 minutes. But I don't think that's going to happen. Corey Heatherman, he's been just he's the reason we're in this game. The offense aside, he's the reason. His run defense is stellar. It was at Minnesota. It was before he even got here. Fun fact: Corey Heatherman has faced Signetti before. Signetti
yeah,
was head coach at Elon when Corey Heatherman was DC at Maine,
and
and it was in the championship game in 2018 that Corey Heatherman came out on top of that game. So he is 1-0. But in all seriousness, Indiana has struggled in a couple of different games, and one of those games is against bigger offensive lines. They have a little bit of trouble running the ball. But number two, defending the run. Number two, on the offensive side of things, if they cannot run the ball very well, and this is like, football 101, understand that. Doza, hasn't been as Heisman like. Miami's one of the few teams who can put pressure on you without sacrificing a back seven player in a blitz. They do blitz, but they don't have to all the time to get pressures. I'm looking at, Miami rushing the ball well, throwing early. Miami, I don't know if they lead the CFP in this, but I saw a stat the other day where in the second half, Miami throwing on early downs is much higher percentage than in the first half. And I think when we get to the fourth quarter, Indiana's not deep. Their defensive line is 270. Miami's offensive line is 330. I just think as time goes on, by the time we get to the fourth quarter, Miami will start showing why they are one of the best teams in college football.
man, I'll tell you what, I'm hoping for your Hurricanes. Still love them, and the feeling of winning a national championship is the greatest feeling of all. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
man,
Well, luckily I've lived long enough to have a chance to win another one because it's been like 24 years since we won our last one. Which proves a couple things, by the way. It's not easy. I mean, Indiana's never won one. They've been playing football for a long time. When you look at even perennial powers, we get spoiled with the Alabamas of the world and, even Georgia lately. But when you really think about how long they've been playing football compared to how many national titles they've won, it's hard. I mean, USC, Penn State, Notre Dame. I mean, Florida, Florida State. When you fill out all the years of you've been playing football, even modern football, you've got one, two, maybe three. Miami did have a great run in those 20 something years where they have five, but it is hard. And so, you need to take advantage of this when you have this opportunity.
Yeah, there's no doubt. 13 years since FSU has won a national championship. 2013, January 2013. It was after the 2012 season. It's like the years start to go by, and you're what happened to all that time? It is hard. It's extremely hard to win a national championship.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I saw something the other day. It was like Notre Dame, USC. I mean, if you go back into the 30s and 40s and 50s, you can pull some other people in here. Army, Georgia Tech. But I'm going to say, since like the 50s, and on, you think, oh, back when we were growing up, USC, Ohio State, they're winning them every day. Nope, no, it's hard. My final thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours on the actual game. Other than football 101, really, Joe? Wow, you gotta, not turn the ball over. Well, you don't want to do that because Indiana's like literally top two or three in the country in plus turnover margin. So no, and pressuring Mendoza, you got to be able to do that and all that. We've got a couple game time decisions on the back end in our defensive secondary, including one of our better players, Tariq. I think he'll play. But Lucas, arguably our best player on defense, Ruben Bain, Mesidor, Lucas is right up there. He has changed the game. He's out first half for what I call a questionable targeting call. I know, Joe, of course. Anytime a ball carrier ducks down at the last minute when a defender's already committed to where he's going to hit that player and you go helmet to helmet, I just hate that rule. It's happened to us. I've been on both sides of that fence. I hate it because what are you supposed to do? I think if a player ducks his head more than, a foot, sorry, that's, you know. But anyways, Lucas won't play until the second half. So hopefully we can hang on until he gets back in the game. And then I think our depth at defensive line is good. So I think we're good to go.
Yeah. And then I did read where the tight end for Miami may not be playing either.
Yeah, he won't be. He got a broken rib. Actually, was coughing up blood last game.
Oh,
So yeah, it's
man,
not a good one.
that's
We're
crazy.
we're okay. We don't use our tight ends that much this year. We just don't have. We've got a couple good ones, good blocking tight ends. They have been pretty good contributors, you know, to the offense, but not like last year with Cam Ward and other years. So we'll see. Listen, it's all going to come down to Mark Fletcher. Um, you know, just pounding the rock, man. That's what we're going to have to do. That both teams take their time. Both teams aren't kind of hurry up. Well, they're not hurry up. They limit each other, each of the opponents. They've limited them to their possessions, so every possession counts. I think Miami comes up with a couple of big plays. I think they control the clock. I think they put pressure on Mendoza. I think they shut down Indiana's running game, and for that reason, I think we win. If I have to throw a number out there, I'm going to say 33-21.
Picking the Canes 33-21. That's an awful lot of points.
You're welcome. Yes. For the record, I've not started drinking any Diet Coke yet. My game plan tailgating for tailgating will be gates open at 4:30 in the stadium in Hard Rock. So I'm probably going to get a little head start around 1ish,
Yeah.
2ish.
The
Uh,
gates to your refrigerator are going to start opening at what time?
just some Diet Cokes, light beer, light beverages, nothing crazy until we ramp up. I know how to control myself in these environments. I've been to many games. I've seen people flame out. You don't want to do that.
No, no, absolutely not. Yeah, I got this I hope the Hurricanes win because I love you, brother.
Love you too,
But
bro. What?
but
And
I
no
think
offense, pick. I want to hear your pick. Go.
I think it's a business-like decision right now. And when you said the turnover margin, that has a big factor. And it's all I got to say is it's hard for me to see this team that has beaten everybody, no losses this year, undefeated. Don't we love hearing that in Miami with the Dolphins? And it's kind of like the same type of team. Seems like their head coach is just not that taking away anything from Miami. This guy just seems to be on some kind of a mission. Indiana seems to be on some kind of a mission. I just, it's hard for me to see Indiana not winning tonight.
Uh,
Eight and a
can't
half point favorites, eight and a
can't
half
disagree.
points.
Can't
But
disagree with
when
you.
but when I was listening to you with your takes on that game tonight and Miami's strengths and everything, I I I agree with you. I can very much also see Miami winning the game. And guess who would be super, super happy for all Miami fans that go way back, like you and I, back when I was a kid? I'd be super happy for you. But just don't, I just see that's all I got.
No, listen. I'm going to close with this. Miami, they need to play a clean game. Uh, Listen. Fun fact: against Ohio State, which Miami won that game fairly. I mean, in a fairly dominating way.
Yes.
Miami committed. Guess how many penalties? Zero. Not one. And guess what? That's the first time a team in CFP history has had no penalties in a game. So they are capable of doing that. I'm sure Mario and company have been stressing how clean this game needs to be. And so, like I said, one turnover or less, six penalties or less, and I'd love to see less than three. I think we can win because it will not offset what else we are able to do. By the way, um, there's a little like secret Indiana has. His name is Aiden Fisher. He's a linebacker. Apparently, the more I've read about this guy, he comes up to the line pre-snap, and in a lot of games, Oregon players, Ohio State players have confirmed this. He's literally calling out what the offense is about to do. Apparently, Aiden is a previous. He was a quarterback, and apparently, he's very familiar with pretty much all the QB lingo out there, at least the normal stuff. And of course, he's looking at the sets, he's looking at everything, and he can kind of pre-call the play. That's been a big advantage to them. So don't think for a minute that Miami doesn't know that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Miami's switching up some of their normal audible language, even, going as far as, installing some new um, just pre-snap, looks and those kinds of things. So it's going to be an interesting. I hope it's a good game no matter what, right?
That sparks a question for me. Carson Beck has been in Miami for what, a couple years now? A year and
This is his first year.
over a year, but I mean, he's been down there. We're already into 2026. He could be calling out some of the offensive calls in Espanol, bro.
Oh,
Oye, mira, derecho, izquierda.
yeah. I'm not sure what you just ordered at your
Mitch
restaurant there, but
Trubisky orders for me.
oh, quarterback ordering. Yeah. Hey, listen, Carson Beck. I like Carson Beck in this game. Everyone keeps going, yeah, he's a turnover machine. He had one bad game, literally. And Peyton Manning famously once said, this is a famous quote from him: "Every interception has its own story." And I happen to know for a fact in the Louisville game, three of those picks were not his fault. Now, he won't say that. And I think that was nice that he didn't say that, although he did kind of throw the tight end under the bus a little bit on the fourth one. But the point is, listen, he's been here, done that. He's played in, not a game this big. He's been in a game this big. He's won two national championship rings, been on the bench for those. But nonetheless, let's just hope it's a good game. I'd love to see Miami win, and we'll move on from there.
Tell you what, I got goosebumps already because I still remember being there in the Orange Bowl for Nebraska and Miami. And everyone in the whole world thought, and this is kind of similar to how Indiana's coming down from the Midwest.
Yeah,
They were an old Big Eight team, weren't they? Or they've always been in the Big Ten. I might be wrong on that.
don't know.
But you know, you'd have
Think so.
Nebraska or Oklahoma coming down every year, and they're always ranked top number one or number two. You know, and a lot of those games were for national championships. Everyone thought that Schnellenberger and the Hurricanes, oh, they're going to get beat by Nebraska. And what happened that night?
Well,
31-30 Miami.
15-point underdogs,
Yeah,
and Nebraska was unbeatable. Just like the the comments out there about Indiana this year. They're a team of destiny. They're unbeatable. They're blowing everybody out. They're the best team in college football by far. They might be one of the best in college football, all time. So I love that is what is being, thrown around out there. You can talk, rat poison, as Mario calls it, and all the noise and blah, blah, blah. Players hear and read all this stuff, cannot hide from it. And guess what? I love that. So I think you're going to see Miami stars shine tonight, and you're going to see Miami dominate in the trenches, and that's what's going to win them the game as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot. So
right. And the team
let's
that's
move on.
coming in, and the team, just one more thing, and the team that's coming in is wearing the red and the white. And the team that's the home team is, wearing their visiting jerseys, which I would suppose is going to be the white jerseys and the orange pants tonight, the traditional.
They're
Who
all white
knows?
and wearing those. They're
All
undefeated in
white.
those uniforms, and you know what? They're the visiting team because of the rankings and the coin flip and all of that. First time ever a team is playing in their home stadium for the CFP, so that's
Going to be
interesting
interesting.
for the college championship. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, it's going to be half Hoosier fans, if not more. It's one of the largest institutions in the country. I didn't realize how big University of Indiana is. It's got 90,000 students.
Mhm.
They're gonna represent. Miami will too, and the familiarity of being at home. They did have to stay in a hotel by rules. They stayed at the Fountain Blue, so but they've been in their area. They're obviously going to be familiar with the locker room, the field. It's going to be 65 degrees and you know calm tonight. No rain expected, so I think it should be a great track for both teams to play on.
Yeah. I could talk all day about that game
Me too.
tonight because it's
Me too.
finally here.
I know. I know. So we'll our podcast later this week. We'll be talking about how wrong or right we were. There were some great professional football games on this weekend.
Yes.
I
Oh my
watched them
gosh.
all. It was wow. The close games just keep happening, man.
And then we got the shocker this morning. The Buffalo Bills, fresh off a heartbreak overtime victory, have decided to let Sean McDermott go. Didn't he just come off of 5 straight AFC East championships,
I
except
mean,
for this year? I
I
mean,
mean, yeah. It's that shocked me. I think more than Harbaugh.
yeah, yeah. And then we got Harbaugh taking over with the Giants, and now who's going to end up being a head coach for the Bills? I'm really surprised by that.
I was very surprised. I mean, I hope the Dolphins, I hope the Raiders are calling Sean McDermott right now. He's a defensive minded coach. I think what really cost him was just not being able to stop the other teams, when they really need to in the playoffs here. I mean, it's kind of like Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. Um, if it weren't for Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson probably, he had his own problems, but he probably would have won, three, four, five, six more majors. Is just he was at a bad time in the golf history. Well, the same is true with McDermott, Josh Allen and company. They they were just bad timing to be around when Mahomes and Kansas City were around because you take the Chiefs out of the equation and they probably go to the Super Bowl in 20. They probably go in 22,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even in 25. I mean, the Broncos obviously, but I'm 23. I mean, so it's bad
Yeah.
timing, really.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I can't see anybody else coaching for them. But I guess that's the way the ball bounces. And look at Denver. the big victory in overtime, and no one in the country had any idea until after the game that Bo Nix got hurt.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is really unfortunate. Hearts out to Bo Nix, man.
Second to last play. Matter of fact, on the last play, he threw another deep ball, which was really smart when you look at it. Sean Payton, man, think about it. He came out of the tunnel at halftime, and they interviewed him. As they quickly run out in the field, they said, "Hey, what do you think?" Blah blah blah. And coming off the bye, where you were a little rusty getting started, he goes, "Look, the bye doesn't mean anything in the first half, but it does in the second half." And I think it actually showed. I mean, Buffalo's defensive backs looked gassed. And when you really look at the last part of the game, it was kind of weird. Why are you throwing just three deep balls in a row? It's because Sean Payton knew the DBs were gassed. And what do you do when you're really, really tired? Well, you're either going to get beat or you're going to start grabbing. And guess what? He played that like a fiddle. And there you go.
And the way Nix threw the ball on all three passes, he just threw moonshots.
Yeah.
You could
No,
tell, here
right.
it comes. Here
Right.
comes the
No,
flag.
just don't right. Just throw them down there, making sure they're far enough to where you have time to beat the DB and have them the DB have to make it up. And it was really crazy. I mean, five turnovers in the game, but four for Buffalo. In the NFL, I mean, it's unbelievable how dependable this stat is. But in the NFL, man, if you lose a turnover battle, especially I think it's by three or more, you don't win. And I mean, that was Josh Allen was in tears after the game. I'm sure you saw that. His lineman in the locker room was in tears when hearing about Josh Allen being in tears. Um, what a just wow, what a heartbreaking defeat.
And it seems to be a broken record for Buffalo in the playoffs. Heartbreaking defeat. And we did have the controversial call. We won't go that much into it because, 9 out of 10 times, I think you said 19 out of 20 times before the show this morning, that's the way it's going to be called. If you can't hang on to the ball, even as you're hitting the ground and you're rolling, if the defender rips that ball out, that's an interception. It's
Yeah. I mean, literally, I saw a lot of former referees. I don't know how they compiled them all, but basically they all said, yeah, it was a good call because he didn't have complete control of the ball as they were coming down. And so, therefore, blah, 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 completing the catch and all this crap now is very subjective. Um, I will say this, I've seen a bunch of still photos of it. I'm sure you have too. And if you're a
Mhm.
Buffalo fan, you're outraged because there's still photos showing him clearly having the ball, but obviously still photos don't show movement. It's a tough one, man. You hate to blame one play on not only losing the game, but yeah, if that is a catch, then Buffalo kicks a field goal probably and wins. McDermott still has his job, so that's a tough one, man. I don't know. By the way, before we move on, next year you're playing in a brand new stadium. But there are some, considerations that they're going to have to make because Josh Allen is about to explode the cap, and that's going to be tough because I think they owe Josh Allen. He's going to go from like 40 million to $60 million, and you know that might have a little bit to do with McDermott. Like, look, we've got to find a way to build a team around him without as much money because it's going to be expensive. So I don't know.
interesting. We shall see. We'll talk more about that in one of the future episodes about who their head coach is going to be and everything. And by the way, congratulations, you got the pick right,
Thank you. Yep. I
and I
thought Denver
didn't.
might play well. The NFL continues to prove that home field advantage matters. Those games in week two, in week three, maybe in college, they don't mean as much anymore. Some do, obviously. Miami Notre Dame, for example. But in the NFL, they matter because when you have to go on the road in the NFL, it's real.
Sure, and look what happened to the San Francisco 49ers on set. Yeah, that was crazy. Saturday night.
I did not
Ooh,
ex- I did not see. getting blown out 41-6 coming.
And there's a theme coming, Joe. You got that one right, and I didn't.
Wow, that's a little bit of a shocker. I've been saving up my my picking ability to the playoffs, just like good NFL teams do.
But all I got to say is Seattle Seahawks defense, mm, they're awesome.
They're legitimate, man. Mike McDaniel, man, is he's legit.
And
Is that the Seattle coach's name? Did I get that wrong?
there's too many McDaniels, McDonald's,
Oh
McConnells,
yeah, McDonald. Yeah,
McCormick.
I was gonna say yeah, McMurphy, what's his name?
I think it's
Yeah,
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. It makes me hungry, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we just call him Big Mac, and I'll take a
Yeah.
large fry with that.
Wait, you still won't know which head coach you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Big
No,
Mac.
but he no, he's got them playing really, really. I mean, you think, well, no, why can't everyone just do that? Because they can't. Um, Se- Seattle scored 41 points. Not one play, not one longer than 35 yards. So it's like the largest blowout ever without one explosive TD. I mean, it's unbelievable. San Francisco had 3rd and 7 or longer on almost 50% of their drives. That is not going to work, man.
Yeah, Seattle's defense is scary. I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but that team dominates football games. And I know Sam Darnold, he wasn't 100%. You know,
No.
that might have something to do with he didn't seem like he was really trying to throw the ball that far downfield. I think he had a strained oblique. And man, I'll tell you what, it didn't matter. But Seattle also tempered by a couple of scary injuries. Chardonnay. I just ordered one. I just ordered a Chardonnay.
Oh,
Charbonnet.
yeah. Cabernet. He's a blend between a Chardonnay and a Cabernet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Whew.
But he doesn't like to wine. Just say.
Oh, okay. He better not. But they're scoping his knee today. That could be a significant loss, even though Kenny Walker looked amazing against San Francisco. And then also the offensive tackle Cross. He's having his foot looked at, but McDonald said he doesn't believe either injury is that serious. But I think Charbonnet's injury, I think that's up in the air. But we'll have to keep our eye on that when we do our picks for next
Yeah, no,
weekend.
that's a big deal. I mean, I like Walker, but it's nice to have them both. Obviously, they both contribute a lot.
Yeah.
Seattle, got like 2 more yards than the 49ers on first down. They had, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5 all day. San Francisco never, ever got inside Seattle's 10-yard line. I mean, dominant. But let's be fair, though. San Francisco's forget Kittle, not forget Kittle, but in spite of not just losing Kittle, they were banged up. I mean, McCaffrey got that shoulder stinger on a block. They would have probably lost anyways if they were full roster, but they weren't healthy. They kind of had a lot of, holes in their offense and defense, quite frankly. So
And you can see McCaffrey
Fred
when he
Warner,
was,
Fred Warner, let's
yeah,
face it. I mean, that's your captain on the defense, not only the best player probably, but anyways.
yeah. And then you could see McCaffrey on the sideline while he was getting his shoulder worked on. He was wincing in pain. It's just
Yeah.
tough guy, but tough breaks for the 49ers. Another team, just like the Bills. It just seems like they keep getting up there, they get close, and then
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing to show for it.
And you know what? Health has a lot to do with that.
It sure
And,
does.
and I'll also say this, the 49ers had 3 turnovers, 2 picks and a fumble, and the Seattle Seahawks had 0. Again, there's the turnover margin 3. You can't win like that in the NFL.
Yep. And then we should move on to the last two games here. And once again, the pick that you made for the New England Patriots was correct,
Yes.
and I was not correct.
Um, I I think I said this. If I didn't, it's fine. But I think I said if the New England Patriots score 20, I might have said 24, but I probably said 28. We can go back and look. But I think if they score 28, they'll win. And that is because Houston's offense is terrible. I mean, I'm sorry, it just is. And, um, great defense, obviously. I think we learned the Patriots, their defense ain't too shabby either. Um, but wow, it was frustrating. I'm not even a huge Houston Texan fan. I don't dislike them by any means. I'm neutral on them. It was frustrating to watch them. It their offenses. Oof.
Stroud looked lost. So I was sitting there going, oh man, I'm going to go 0 for 3 on my picks as of now, which I did. And then I had to deal with the mental trauma of my wife loving Drake May. And it's for a Dolphins fan, it's too soon to watch the Patriots have a really good quarterback from the draft. Are you listening, Stephen Ross? And already, after just a short 4 or 5 years now, they're back to being dominant and on the doorstep of the Super Bowl. I can't take it.
Um, you know what? I like May too. He's played football in North Carolina, as you know. His brother played for the basketball team. I'm a Tar Heel fan. Long story, but he's hard not to like. I mean, his comments after the game, the way he handles himself during the game. He had some bad turnovers too. 4 fumbles, 2 lost. Now the strip sacks when you're getting your arm stripped behind you because of your left tackle or right tackle not blocking good enough, that kind of thing. That's different. But having the ball punched down, all that. But how do you handle yourself? You get right back up, you forget about it, move on. He looks like a great franchise quarterback. Says the right things, does the right things, plays the right way. I like him.
That's what my wife said too, Joe. She did finally say, I think she was trying to
Rosa's
make me,
smart.
she's making
Rosa
me,
is smart.
she was trying to make me feel better. And then she goes, well, I'm not rooting for the Patriots. I'm rooting for Drake May. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you know what? He's hard not to like, man. His family is great. 4 boys and all that. Can you imagine growing up in that house? I think he's the youngest. By the way, um, so all four with the 4 remaining teams, the average age for the quarterbacks is 24 and a half years old. Think about that. It's been like over 30 years since you've had that kind of youth. So these guys are going to be around for a while. But back to Houston, um, it could have easily been another coach being fired this morning. You're 0 for 7 in divisional playoffs. I mean that hurts, man. That hurts.
Yeah. And my, one of our viewers, James from Houston, texted me yesterday and says the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans better pack his bags, so to speak. That was awful. Stroud looked lost the entire game, but
Yeah.
are you supposed
Who's
to
their
credit?
who's their offensive coordinator, man? I mean, you can't blame it all on Ryan, so you know what I mean? I like him, but somebody's got I mean, who what is up with what is up with the offense?
Well, that's why we're the undrafted. That's what everybody's going to be asking today. Who was the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans?
Yeah, right, right. Oh, I just Googled it right now. Thank you. Nick Caley.
Caley.
He replaced Bobby Slowick. By the way, if your name is Slowick, that's not good anyways. But I don't know. I guess he was under Sean McVay for a while or whatever. And you can't blame everything on Stroud. Stroud always looks to me like he's taking a step backwards in development or whatever you want to call it in some of these bigger games. So what are you going to do?
And he's just like James also said yesterday, he had a great rookie season. Now it looks like the rest of the defenses in the NFL have caught up to him, and he hasn't adjusted. And they think they need to target a Mike McDaniel, the fired Dolphins head coach, as their offensive coordinator. I thought that was an interesting, or go after Brian Dayball. from Buffalo, New York Giants,
Yeah.
Brian
They got to
Daboll.
go after somebody because let me ask you this. I mean, this is rhetorical. It's not even a real question, but if you're looking at an NFL quarterback, what are the you could argue what's the most important trait? Aside from leadership, I'm talking about on the field. I mean, arm strength, mobility. I would say the ability to read defenses,
Yes.
all that. The most important trait is accuracy. In the NFL, you've got windows the size of a Home Depot bucket. I mean, seriously, the timing and accuracy, obviously the ability to read defenses, the ability to move around in the pocket, all those are important. But accuracy is like paramount. CJ Stroud is inaccurate all the time. And you cannot play quarterback when you are not accurate in the NFL. That's why good quarterbacks are backups. They're really good because they do all the other stuff good, but then you got to be accurate. He's not.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I feel bad for him. Hopefully he
Yeah, great
improves.
guy, great guy. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a
I
good
feel bad
kid.
for, Jimmy Garoppolo, but, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Now, the game that really was entertaining as heck, the Rams Bears. Wow.
Yep. And I finally got one right. But so
Yes,
did you.
barely, barely,
Oh,
but you
good
did.
one.
Yes,
Good
thank you.
one. Oh man. Oh, what a game, man. And that
It was a great
that
game.
everybody's gonna be talking about it. You talk about agony of defeat,
Mm,
the
whoa.
interception by Caleb Williams in overtime, coming after thrill of victory, the TD pass he throws to send the game into overtime. That guy is entertaining to watch.
It was amazing, game the whole game was great, and he's great, don't love his post-game comments, get to that in a second, but nonetheless, so I did not realize this, but the ball on that unbelievable throw that went 51.2 yards in the air, that's from, like, leaving the hand to being caught, so it was 42, about 46 yards by yardage, but because of the angle, you gotta add some yards there. Falling back, being able to throw it that far, that was Aaron Rodgers type throw there. The ball was snapped, like, on the 19-yard line.
Yeah.
It officially was a red zone throw, so he also holds the record for the longest touchdown pass inside the red zone ever. Well, of course, because he ran back 20 yards. Maybe he was doing it to get that record, I don't know.
Yeah, he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
Superman Caleb
what's the record
Williams.
for the longest red zone pass, like, touchdown pass within the red zone? 39 yards. Gotcha. Watch this. Here, hold my beer. That was a crazy throw. What a game, man. I mean, it you know, went back and forth. I mean, and I'll tell you what, the Rams, in that environment, no turnovers and all that, they were getting just blitzed to death for a while there. McVay just had no answers until the very end of the game. I don't know if Chicago got tired or they went to some kind of, pseudo prevent or what. But, here comes Stafford and company, just boom, 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 right down the field, as if none of that stuff happened before. Crazy.
And it was because Stafford came out in the second half and realized, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm dancing around. I'm looking downfield, trying to see if I can make big plays and this and that. Instead, he started coming out, setting his feet and firing the ball where it's supposed to go quickly. And then there you go. I guess McVay, another head coach starts with a Mick. Big Mac, the head
Yeah,
coach for the LA
there you go.
Rams. Half of the coaches in the NFL's last names start with MC.
It's unbelievable. McAfee. I
It
mean, I was
is.
going to call him McAfee or something. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But
Hey, let me tell you, underrated player, man. Williams, their running back he's a stud, man. He uh
yes.
he's a stud. He's not the biggest dude, but he can get some tough yards, doesn't cough the ball up. He takes some vicious hits, gets right back up. Good blocker. Missed a couple blitzes, but he's overall a pretty good blocker. He's a great player. Love to have him. He's on my fantasy team, so I'm going to get him
Yeah.
again next year.
Good pick. And then I guess to close, Puka Nakua, the catch he
Yeah,
made in overtime. It's
What
like
can you say?
it took two or three Bear players to bring him down, but he had to make sure. And as you watch the end of that play, as he stretched out that extra 4 to 5 yards, that could
Oh,
have
yeah.
been the difference in that field goal being good or not.
No,
And
his yards after catch have always been good. That one, if you watch it, he got yards after catch by he caught the ball, he got hit, got about 3, 4 yards, and then as two or three other defenders are on him, you know, stumbled and fell for another four. It was like 8 yards after the catch, and those yards were critical.
even
Um,
as he was going down, he
I
dove
know
for four more
every yard
yards. That
in
was
the
my
NFL,
point. Yeah,
man, every yard matters.
yeah.
Yeah. I and I remember he kind of burst onto the scene. He wasn't that high of a draft pick. He wasn't expected to be this good. So kudos to him for the hard work he's put into it. Once again, turnovers. I mean, Rams 0, Chicago 3. Guess what? Who won the game? You cannot do that in the NFL. It's the margins are too close. And as good as that throw was for Williams, to get that touchdown late in the game, it was a bad pick. Now they're saying Moore didn't cut across the field or gave up on the route or whatever. But and the DB, I forget his last name, but what a catch, man! I mean, you forget it was like 19 degrees. His hands are probably feeling like bricks, and he
Hmm.
grabs up all out of the air, turns over, lands on his back to make sure there's no question he caught it. Wow, what a great catch, man! It's great. And the field goal kicker, what's his nickname? Uh, Thick something like number. Where's number 92? Something like that.
Yeah,
Pretty fun.
the Indiana boy.
Yeah, great. Hey, why'd you got to bring that up, man? All
Oh,
right.
I didn't mean to. I was just getting ready to tell you it's been a great show today. I almost had to call out because I had ophiritis. I almost missed all the picks this weekend, but the Rams saved me. And I just hope you have a very, very wonderful,
Go Miami. Let's see. Go
wonderful
Canes.
night tonight.
Yep. Go Canes, man. So I'll be watching. So that's it for this episode of the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks with Jim and Joe. Thanks for checking us out and hanging with us for some real fan-driven sports talk.
Don't forget, your comments are always a part of their show. We love having you guys with us. Drop them below. We'll read them. We'll feature them into future episodes. So be sure to like, subscribe, and catch us every week. We're on YouTube, Spotify. We do Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you listen. Thank you,
Hey, follow
everybody.
us. Like,
Thank you,
subscribe, and
Joe.
follow. Take care. I'll
Good
talk
luck.
to you tonight, Jim. I'll call you during the game.
Just call me Jim.
See you later, my friend.
Hey, buddy.